Hello! Thank you so much for purchasing the ultimate gym or home workout tracker. I've worked really hard on these products, and in case you're wondering, my name is Chris. I'm an online fitness coach helping people who want to look good, build muscle, lose fat, transform the physique. So, I've made this tool because I use this exact one for my clients, and I want to help as many people as possible who don't want to pay for a personal trainer per session, but still get all the benefits. And I'm going to show you how. So, enough of that, let's get right into the tutorial. Feel free to follow along or set this at 1.5 times speed. Timestamps should be in the description so you can navigate to any part that you like. Keep in mind that what I show you now is going to be the same if you have the home workout version as well. Just some different exercises and programs. Okay, first, choose your workout. The question that you need to ask yourself is how many days can you work out per week? And be honest with yourself. Select one that's right for you. Read the note that explains how you'll see more progress if you actually select a routine that works for you and that you can stick to consistently every week rather than have to miss a few days here and there. So I'm going to choose a 4 day per week workout routine because I know that I can go at least 4 times a week to the gym and then some options will appear for me. With the guidance below, you can choose the type of program that fits what you're looking for at the moment, depending on what you want to focus on, and you can always make a new copy and change it up at a later date, which I will show you how to do towards the end of the video. Now, before I move on to the second step, let me just mention that there are instructions on every single tab that you can follow easily, such as these ones right here. This one tells you how to download this on your phone and add it on your phone screen so that you can use this like any other app when you go to the gym. Now, the second step is actually customizing your workout. And I give you the chance to do this because not everyone has the same gym equipment, not everyone has the same preferences in terms of exercises, rep ranges. You might even have a specific injury that you want to avoid. For example, you don't like the incline dumbbell press that is suggested here. You can click on that drop down arrow and select a different exercise that I've set up. Now, this is set up so that every single alternative exercise is equally effective for that specific movement. One thing I want you to do, and I also specify this in the instruction, is look through the program, and if you see the same movement twice, like I have here, select a different exercise. It's generally beneficial to have some variation in your week. There's no harm in doing an exercise, let's say, twice a week, but you'd want to avoid more than that. Certainly not the same exercise on the same workout. Now, in terms of the rep range, same deal goes. I have a lot of rep ranges available because any of them can work equally well when it comes to building or maintaining muscle, toning your body, all of that stuff. For some movements, like the squat, you might want to train heavier, close to 6 to 9 or 8 to 12 range. For some movements, like the dumbbell lateral raises, 6 to 9 means you have to pick up some really heavy weights, and it might not work out for you that well. So I'm going to choose 12 to 15 for that one. If you don't know what works for you, experiment. See what you prefer on different exercises, what feels better for your own body. There's no perfect number because everyone is unique. And all our recommendations here work equally well. Then you set your weight increments. I've added some default values here for you so that the workout trackers work even when you don't feel anything out yourself. But for each exercise, what you want to do is select the difference by which your weights increase. This depends on your gym equipment. So let's say your dumbbells increase from 2 kilograms to 4, then to 6, 8, 10, and so on. This means that they increase by 2 kilograms or pounds every single time. So if we look at the incline dumbbell fly here, which uses dumbbells that increase by 2 kilograms or pounds every single time, I'm going to select number 2 here. Same for this movement right here. Lateral raises I also do with dumbbells. For the incline chest press machine here in my gym, which increases by 5 every time, so it goes from 10, 15, 20, 25, and so on, I'm going to select number 5. Now, if one of your machines at the gym has irregular weight increases, it might go from 7.2 kilograms and then to 14 to 17. So you can't really give it a standard number. What you can do is select number 1 and then count the number of plates. So instead of tracking the weight inside the workout trackers, I can track which plate I used each workout. For example, the third plate down or the fifth plate down. I would put number 3 or 5 in that case instead of the weight. And if you can't find the right one here, you can also click on the edit button and then you can add another item that's custom to what you have. Once you click done, a pop-up will appear and you can click apply to all instances so you can have it available in all exercises. We'll see this later on inside the trackers, how this helps tell you when to increase or decrease the weight you need to lift, and of course, by how much. Then finally, we've got rest times. Back to the barbell squat example, it's a heavy movement, so I want to rest for a fairly long time here. I'm going to choose 3.5 minutes. For another exercise that I'm lifting lighter weights, let's say the lateral raises here, it's not as tiring. I feel like I can recover within 1.5 minutes. And again, don't stress over the rest times. There's no magic number. As a rule of thumb, if you don't want to waste time at the gym, if you feel fairly rested, your heart isn't beating fast, and you feel like you could do another set and still push yourself, then you can go. There's no benefit on resting very little or resting for a very long time. Usually for me, 1.5 to 3, maybe 3.5 minutes is a sweet spot. These are really for guidance. Inside the trackers, you can tap on them to open a countdown timer to help you track your rest times, or just have the number there as a mental reminder to yourself. The last thing here is the units. Don't forget to set this up, either kilograms or pounds, depending on what's available at your gym. Before we move on to the next tab, we can also see a graph with the muscle focus that tells you how much of each muscle group you're training per week. Just so you know, legs takes into account quads, hamstrings, calves, so it's natural for it to be a bit higher than the rest. That's it with customizing your workout. Moving on to the dashboard, very quickly, you've got an indication of what day of the week you're training and in what week. One of my clients mentioned that he'd like to see that too, so I've added that in. If you don't care about this, you can always right click the tab and then hide it. A pop-up will show up asking me if I want to edit this because that shouldn't be changed, but in this case it's fine. I know what I'm doing, so I'm going to click OK. Moving on to the trackers, you've got one for each day that you're training. And again, since I'm only training for 4 days a week, I'm going to right click the ones that I'm not using and hide it. Don't show it again for 5 minutes because I know what I'm doing. Then hide day number 6 and day number 5. This is the part where you're likely going to want to do this on your mobile. And if I go back to the first tab here, it's very easy. There's only 2 steps that you need to do on how to access the mobile version. Because this is the part you're going to want to be using while you're at the gym. Essentially, you will enter the reps and the weights you lift for each set of each exercise. So in this case, for set number 1, maybe I'll lift for 9 reps, 40 kilograms. Then I'm a bit more tired, 8 reps, 40 kilograms again. And then I could still hit 8 reps and 40 kilograms. So each row is a different set. Then once you finish tracking an entire training day, what you can do to make it easier for your mobile version is click on this minus icon up here to hide that workout from sight. And you can always expand it from here again if you need to, but I'm going to leave this covered so that I don't have to scroll unnecessarily on my phone screen. The most useful feature here of the trackers is that we don't just tell you what you did last workout, we tell you something even more useful, how much you need to lift today. So not only is there an algorithm behind the scenes using science on progression, you can just show up at the gym, open your phone, you immediately know exactly what to train, which exercises, what rest times, and what reps and weights. You don't even have to think about it, and that's what makes this like having a personal trainer in your pocket at all times, ensuring you keep making progress. Based on your performance, you're going to keep seeing new targets each and every week, and that means you know when to increase the weight, how many reps we expected you to do with that weight, and so on. It's 100% normal. If you don't manage to hit your targets, it's going to happen at some point. We don't always show up feeling 100%. Push yourself as much as you can, and they will slowly adjust as you go. Last thing about training here is the exercise performance analytics, where you can just look at your performance in each exercise. If you're getting better, you're stagnating, or if you're getting worse, maybe you need a new tactic like switching to a different exercise, and you can use the filters to see, let's say, exercises only for your back, only for your arms, stuff like that. And now we're getting into the two Bodyweight Coach tabs involving nutrition and body weight tracking features. And this tool is my personal favorite. First of all, start by filling out your personal details in the calorie calculator page. Everything is straightforward and self-explanatory, with guidance for anything that you might not be sure about. First, select your experience level. I'm an intermediate, let's say. Fill in your stats by selecting either metric or imperial units of measurement, activity level, depending on your lifestyle. Don't worry if it's just an estimate for now. And then you click on which goal you want to aim towards. And you can find the details here on what matches your goals. Speaking about goals, enter your goal weight at the bottom. Say I want to be losing weight down to 70 kilograms. So I'm going to select these two. And finally, how much fat you prefer for your diet. I have some notes on the next tab about fat. It's an essential nutrient that your body needs to function properly. Some people want to go for high fat diets, some want to go as little fat as possible. If you don't care, just leave it as moderate. Once you set up the calorie calculator, you won't really need to use it again. You can even hide it if you want to. The Bodyweight Coach tab is where everything is, and the first thing you need to do is add the starting date when you filled in the previous information. So today, I can add this by pressing Control and semicolon. Now, let me explain this page. The daily weight log is where you log your daily weight, ideally every morning after you wake up before you eat anything. Tomorrow's date automatically populates. You have a small column here that shows you how much weight you lost or gained from one day to the other. There's also calories that are displayed for each day individually, and this is how much you should be eating. You don't have to touch this at all. In fact, you can even hide the column if you don't care about it. But if you want to take a more advanced and personalized approach, you can overwrite this number if you eat more or less than this amount, for example, on that specific day. And you can get more tailored recommendations. Which leads me to my next point, weekly guidance. Unlike every other online calorie calculator, which suggests a number that you can start off with, and it's a good way to begin, that number is quite generic, and it doesn't really fit your body type, your metabolism, your lifestyle, your biology. There's tons of different factors that are taken into account. Bodyweight Coach tracks your body weight changes based on your diet, based on your eating habits, your lifestyle, and each week it gives you a new recommendation. And if you keep following this, you're going to see that over the long run, you're going to be moving towards your goal at the right speed, staying very, very close to your ideal or expected weight trend. It lets you know when to make adjustments so that you're never guessing if you're doing the right thing, and avoid issues like losing weight too fast, which leads to excess skin, or gaining weight too quickly, which leads to a lot of fat. By far, the most useful features that I haven't seen anywhere else, and this actively helps keep every single one of my clients in check and reach their goals on time, which transitions us to the dashboard. So you can see where you began, your starting weight, and your goal weight, your finish line, which are fixed numbers. You can also view your total weight lost or gained so far, the proof that your hard work is paying off, as well as how much is left, so how much further you need to go and keep pushing. You can also see that number expressed in days left to hit that goal if you're following the ideal weight change progression, so that you can stay motivated with a clear timeline. In fact, there's a progress bar, so you can watch your success grow as you move forward. These serve as a really good motivation to keep you showing up every day and putting in the effort. It's almost like a game, really. And there's also the current weight, which is your latest recorded weight on the daily weight log. A perfect visual snapshot of all your meaningful stats shown very clearly. Below them, you have the calories, macronutrients displayed here in case you wanted to follow that. Two things about this that I want to highlight. I also highlighted in the instructions. First of all, hit the protein goal daily if you want to build or maintain as much muscle as possible. And second thing is you can use these numbers to create a custom meal plan using AI. I have some simple steps here on how you can do that, along with a prompt which you can copy, paste, fill in your personalized details, and it will create a fully custom meal plan in minutes. It's pretty insane. You need to try this out. Just don't show it to your nutritionist because they're going to lose their jobs. And finally, the body weight trends graph shows you your daily weight, along with a line for the ideal weight trend. So this is, in a perfect scenario, how your progress would look like. And there's a flat line showing your goal weight, giving you another visual cue of how close you are to reaching this. Before we end the video, I want to answer the question, what do you do after you use up this Google Sheet? So when you finish your first workout period, your first 8 weeks of working out. 8 weeks, by the way, is a good amount of time you should stick to a workout before switching to a new program. Any less, and your body isn't really getting all the benefits from getting better at going through the motions of doing the same exercises every week, you're missing out on some compounding results. In fact, if you find yourself still making a lot of progress, even towards the end of 8 weeks, when you switch, you can just keep doing the same workout. And the same question still exists with the Bodyweight Coach. What happens after you complete 20 weeks following Bodyweight Coach, which could run out as well? When you want to switch to a new goal or workout or receive a new update on the product, this is what you would do. The first step is finding the link to the original file, the one you downloaded once you bought the item. To access your digital files from your Etsy account, sign in to etsy.com and go to your account, go to your purchases and reviews. Next to the order, select download files. Otherwise, you might be able to find this PDF in your email as well. Then, if you click the link, you should automatically make a new copy of the Google Sheet. Otherwise, click on File and make a copy with a new name. Now that you've got a new empty file, it's time to copy in the data. And this is, without a doubt, the fastest way to do this. Open the two windows side by side, which you can do by clicking on the window and pressing the Windows plus either the left or the right arrow key if you're on Windows, and then find the data you've input. So anything that you yourself added or changed. Copy everything from the old one. I use Ctrl+C as a shortcut, but when pasting it, please be careful. Select Paste Special, and then Paste Values Only. Or you can use Ctrl+Shift+V as a shortcut. In the case where the format is a bit different, maybe there's other formulas working in the background that you don't know about, this helps keep everything working properly, so that there's not much chance for you to make any mistakes. If you do something wrong, simply press undo, and if you can't figure out how to do this, please just contact me. I'm happy to help you or do it for you. That's right. If you're finding that this is too complicated for you, please just send me an email and I'm happy to do this process for you. Now follow the same process for everything you want to copy. Ctrl+C the data from the old file and then Paste Special, Paste Values Only into the new file. Now let me give you a few important caveats and things to be careful of. For the customized workout page, you're planning to copy things from one to the other, so please do so one column at a time if you're going to copy the exercise options as well. This is because there are other formulas in the background that give you those default exercise options. Ideally, you can select the same workout, let's say, and then just copy paste this exercise column, this one, and so on. When it comes to the rep range, weight increments, and rest times, I'm pretty sure that you can do this together if you wanted to. For the trackers, I don't think you want to copy your old data, but if you wanted to for some reason, such as using a new product with updated features and transferring your data over to that, you would do this 1 week at a time and selecting only the data your inputs, not the targets or anything else. For the calorie calculator, the layout is a bit tricky to copy directly. The good thing is that, number one, there's not a lot of data here, and number two, you probably have slightly different stats starting off right now. So you want to fill in this page manually with your new numbers, particularly weight, goal weight, maybe even activity level. For Bodyweight Coach, again, you would starting off fresh with a new starting date, but if you wanted to transfer your old data to a new updated file, please do the date and weight columns together, copy paste as values, and then you can also do the same with just the calorie columns if you're filling those in. That is it. I know that there was a lot of stuff to cover here. Feel free to go back to a certain section or come back to when you need it. And remember, for almost everything you'd want to do, there's also written instructions inside the file, and you've now watched the tutorial video, so that'll make even more sense to you. If you're still struggling with anything else, you can email me at info@trainingmadesimple.shop, message me on Etsy, or even reach out to me on my Telegram at coachchris_TMS. I'm more than happy to help. You can also reach out to me to give me any feedback. I would love to hear from you about any updates that you suggest that might be implemented into the official product. And as a thank you, I will implement them into your item directly. Aside from that, I mentioned that I'm also a fitness coach. So if you've got any questions about fitness or nutrition or anything, you know what to do. Telegram is probably the fastest way to contact me for that, and we can walk you through a strategy. Last but not least, it really helps us small businesses massively if you could leave a positive review on my Etsy store. It would mean the world to me, as it helps me know that people actually like my products, so that I can keep making more and keep working on them and introduce new updates for you. Thanks again, and I hope to speak to you soon.